We're back.
Hey, we're back with the Cavalry.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Cavalry. Johnny, good to see you. We have
Good to see you as well.
great guest. Great guest on the podcast today is a good buddy of mine and very, very funny comic, Bo Johnson. How you doing, Bo?
I'm doing wonderful. How about you two?
We're
great. We're great. We got to work on our introduction.
I'm a really great conversationalist.
Well, that's why we had you on the pod. No, I'm bad at this, the hosting part. It's weird. It's like I like those podcasts where they start like in the middle of a conversation. It sounds so cool, but we've never been able to accomplish that. Bo, you're in Seattle still. Bo has the best. Johnny, I want you to hear this because Bo has the best story about.
I'll be listening.
No, Johnny, no, but this part, you really want to focus. Sometimes Johnny wanders. He gets up and gets a drink. I've actually been on a podcast where one of the hosts got up and left during the middle of my story, and they're like, just keep going. But no, Bo has a great pandemic comedy tale. Bo, why don't you tell us what happened, where you were when the pandemic broke out and where you were in your life?
Yeah, so I quit my job about March 5th of last year to do stand-up full time. And my therapist, it was like 5 months in the making of like a planned, I'm done with my day job. Yeah. And I remember my therapist had been like, I don't know why you're so nervous. Like, what's the worst that could happen if you quit? And, it turns out it's a lot worse than I would have imagined. But so I think I was in the first weekend of being out of Seattle when I was going to be gone for about a month. And I remember I was in Oklahoma City and I was like, I don't even know if I really should be here right now. Flying out of the only city with COVID cases. And the comedy condo I was in, I mean, like most of them, was, I would say, lacking in some of the bare essentials you might need.
Was this the Looney Bin Comedy Club?
No comment. And
go ahead.
One of the many other comedy clubs.
one of the many other comedy clubs in Oklahoma, with the word "bin" in the name.
Sure.
And I remember I got a text from my friend Kenny, who's like, I've got buddies who work at the CDC and they're going to shut down flights, so you should get home. And I remember like looking through the play. I was like, there's one frying pan. I was like, this is the place I'm going to get caught, is a place with a jar of peanut butter, no car, and one frying pan. I'm going to be stuck in Oklahoma City. And so it was a pretty good ride as a full-time comic.
As a professional comic.
It really expedited the story, if you will.
No, I love that. Your therapist was like, what's the worst that could happen? And Bo, you killed a lot of people by choosing to do comedy. You killed hundreds of thousands of people.
Yeah, I mean, we all know that the world revolves around me and my objectives. And this is just another big affront from God to Bo Johnson directly.
You and your vision board killed a lot of people's family members.
Boy, you got a lot of splaining to do. No, that was so funny, but it has a good ending because you were able to get your job back.
I got my job back.
George Costanza style, just walked back in and was like, "Hey."
It's like just might have noticed a couple of things have changed, and I moved into my parents' massage studio because I'd moved out of my place. So I moved into an abandoned massage studio for about the first 4 months of the year.
And then did you kick in the door of your therapist's office and just beat the shit out of him?
It was like, I think that my imagination is kind of lacking. So maybe it's a good thing this fell apart. I'm not as creative as I thought I was. But
well, it is funny, like the way you said it, like thinking that the world revolves around you. Everyone disaster sizes whatever the pandemic in their own personal life, and like that's like to you it's like, oh my god, what are the worst, people could get COVID and die, be like, oh, I couldn't do comedy for a year, you know what I mean? Like that's how comedians think. It's like, how could this happen to me?
I stand by it. I stand by it, though.
Yeah.
I stand by that. This is a terrible thing that happened to us. It really is.
I think, if anything, if it got you out of the loony bin comedy condo, it was all worth it.
If anything, I'm a rare case of someone who's, if you wanted to look at it from a certain objective, my life improved dramatically as a result of COVID, because I went from someone who was set to make about $15,000 to $20,000 in a year to someone with health insurance and a full-time job again in 2 weeks. I think my mom kind of got a little bit of a what a great gift for her to be like, here he is back in the productive workforce again. But
yeah,
that is true. Like it was like, in a way, it cost a lot of people their jobs, but it was also a job creator. It forced a lot of comedians to go out and get real jobs. So yeah, not us. Me and Johnny, we're riding it out, baby.
Riding it out. Oh yeah. Trying to get creative, and yeah, we've gotten creative. We're doing all these things, these extra projects that don't make us any money.
Right. No, I feel like I am working harder than I've ever worked in comedy. Like I'm like every day I'm like, oh my God, I have like 15 things to do. I have to caption this video and edit the podcast and send this out and write this thing. And yeah, none of it is lucrative as just sitting on a cruise ship for 23.5 hours doing nothing and then doing one show. All that made me more money, but this is I do feel very busy.
I bought the Artist's Way in the beginning of the pandemic, which is like, have you read it? It's like a
do the morning pages.
I was doing them for the first 3 months, and then I just started to use it as a mouse pad. And the morning pages were.
Isn't that for alcoholics?
No, the ideas that you write for like 10 minutes every morning, your first like free thoughts, and you're supposed to almost like get stuff out of the way. And
yeah, like you're not supposed to you're not supposed to pick up your hand, just keep writing and writing and writing without stopping to think.
And yeah, I realized I just complain a lot. If you were to read it, it's a lot of the same thing over and over again.
All yours are just Yelp reviews.
Well, I think I made the mistake of starting to do it right after a breakup. And so I was just like, oh, this will be a lot of profound thoughts on this. And it's just kind of like, it probably would read back a lot like a middle schooler's diary, to be honest. I think if I picked it up now, it would be a little bit more interesting.
Huh. Did you ever like get jokes out of it or no? Or was it always very serious?
I'm going to have to review back to it. I'm going to say probably not a lot of jokes. I think that part of the theory is, and jump in and correct me, Johnny, if I'm mistaken, but from my 3-month tenure in the Artist's Way, I think a piece of it is...
Finish the book. I don't even know why we're asking you about it. You admitted.
Well, I didn't either, to be fair. Full disclosure, I didn't either.
Well, I'm glad we're having this discussion
I don't think anyone does.
About this book that I've never read, and you two like read 2 chapters of. This is very enlightening.
I read the
for
morning
everyone.
pages. That's like the main thing is the morning pages, and then they're like, just release your inner child, go play with your GI Joes, and I was like, what the fuck is this? No.
Well, there's a part of it that kind of just allows you to call doing stuff you want to do for fun work, where it's like you need to appreciate art, and so like I watched a movie this week, so I've been a productive artist.
I like that. It reminds me of when you can like, you're broke in LA and you can write off going to the movies on your taxes. You're like, oh yeah, I was doing research watching Transformers 3. It's really instructing my comedy career. One day I could be writing one of these. Hope the government's not listening. Well, yeah, though. So, but you've been staying busy during the pandemic because you've been working like full schedules, right? Like 40 hours a week.
Yeah, I work at a food bank, so we've been pretty busy. It's been a busy year.
In a food bank, you're just in it for the money, right?
I really just, when I got out of college, I was like, what are the two things I could pick that guarantee I will, at 28, definitely need to live in my parents' massage studio for 4 months?
Comedy and
And
charity.
comedy and charity.
Yeah, I was a journalism major, so I pretty much ensured that there was no backup plan. Johnny and I have been doing these shows virtually that go to, like, half the proceeds go to the food bank. So in a way, we pay your salary, Bo. You should be very grateful to us.
That's true.
Well, that would, if half of my salary is coming from you, that would explain why I'm making what I make.
Yeah, it's not. It's
We'll try harder.
we're
Sorry
sorry.
about that.
we'll work on writing some new stuff. Maybe we can get you a raise.
Yeah. I have a comment about last week. This is for our loyal listeners. So we were last week with Irene. We were talking about digital art, correct?
Oh yeah,
Andrew?
I think so. I remember.
I'm not asking Bo.
Was I-
I'm not asking Bo.
Was I there? Oh yeah, I was there. I remember.
Okay, Andrew, you're gonna want to listen.
No,
to
wait,
this.
Johnny.
So
Yeah, wait, hang on. Here's how stupid I am. I literally was like, wait, that episode hasn't come out yet. How would they know? Like, I can't understand that currently this episode will be in the future past the episode you're talking about, so everyone will know what you're talking about. That's how dumb
It
I
felt
am.
like watching a teacher mention the summer readings to the class. And I was just like, I definitely haven't done that, but I feel like Andrew should have done the homework.
This is like that movie Tenet. Okay, but go ahead, Johnny.
Oh, God. So talking about digital art. So I did the test. If you can screen grab, because we talked about it.
Oh,
If
the
you can
NFTs.
screen grab Netflix.
Yeah.
You can screen grab, but you can't screen record, and only on a computer, not on a phone or an iPad.
Okay.
So for our listeners that were holding their breath, and also I did think it was funny that Irene's talking about, who brought it up? Did you or Irene talk about digital art or bring it up?
I can't. I think I did maybe.
So and then Irene was like, "Wait, is it in a frame?" And you say, "I don't know if it's in a frame, but it's like it's in your computer. It's a computer file." And none of us picked up how would it be in a frame? It's a file. It's in a file.
Well, if it was like a giant iPad and then you put a frame around the iPad, you could hang that on the wall, I guess. If you're rich enough to spend $1 million on a JPEG, you know. But yeah.
So I'm the dummy, because it's like you meant like digital art, like that gets hung on a wall. I thought you meant like just on your wallpaper on your computer. You use it all day. Like, oh, let's
go into
take a look at that.
Photoshop and draw a little frame around your art. Rich people are getting desperate for new. But that's actually interesting that you can take screen grabs of Netflix and not screen record. If you're really industrious, you could just take a screen grab of every frame, just stop it at 0.1 second, and you could recreate the movie. It might take a long time, but you could do it.
It would probably be quicker and cheaper to hire the entire same crew and reshoot and learn how to make movies and make the movie.
I feel like that's one of the signs of when you have just a little bit more money. I remember being in high school and being desperate enough to watch movies where it would be like someone bringing their camera into the movie theater, and you'd hear them like coughing over the movie during it, or like breathing heavily. And I'm happy to be past that. But I feel like that's a prime spot. You could easily just set up the camera in front of the screen now.
I agree, and like people, I remember when like Periscope first started for Twitter. I don't even know if that's still a thing, but basically like live streaming. People would like get a pay-per-view boxing event, and then just people would watch it on other people's. I mean, it was like and they would try to shut it down. But I'm with you, Bo. I definitely am not a rich person, but I at least have enough money now to where my laziness is more powerful than my cheapness. So I would much rather just I can go, they have those, you could illegally download some movie, or the Seahawks game is, if you go on the Reddit, there's a stream and you can get it for, I'd much rather just pay whatever it is I have to pay. It's one click with my remote. They've made it just cheap enough to where I would pay for it than do the work to get it for free.
Yeah. This is
they
where
found
I'm
that
at.
Price point.
I'll order delivery a few times each week. And the last time someone pulled up, it's not advisable that I'm doing it, but I can afford it. But the person pulled up in a nicer version of my 99 Camry. And I was like, okay.
Yeah. The delivery driver has a better car than you. But that happens a lot in Portland. I feel like a lot of people, it is the thing they advertise it as, where it's the second job or whatever. But almost every Uber or Lyft, before the pandemic, everyone I got in was nicer than my car. In fact, I don't think my car would qualify for a Uber Lyft. I think it would be rejected. Would your car make it? Would your car be allowed?
No, it's not suitable for passengers.
Yeah.
Only for food.
Well, there you go.
I did Uber and Lyft when I was living in LA.
Your car was good enough? Because now they have
it was
standards.
then.
Yeah.
Huh? I mean, it wasn't, it was one of those ones where you get in and you're like, oh God, just get me where I need to be. I'm not handing out water. I don't have a plaque or a sign. It's just this is some
you didn't
guy's
have one
car.
of the digital reader boards. Is thank you for riding with Johnny B. I like the people who really made it their whole, I'm gonna be the Lyft driver. I'm gonna get to the top.
I do miss morning airport Uber rides though. I really liked flying out at whatever time at 5 a.m. and I would take a little edible as I was leaving my house before I got to the airport. And the neighborhood I used to live in was filled with a bunch of cab and Uber drivers. I knew because you'd see the whole street would be lined with cabs the night before. And I remember it's when we flew down to Glendale, actually, Andrew. I mean, not together, but when we went down there, the guy I had, he was talking about his wife, and I was like, oh, where'd you meet her? And he's like, at the McDonald's by the ferry terminal. Where are you going? And it's because it came up because it was I'm going to Phoenix area. And he was like, oh, I got married in Phoenix. And it turned into this long love story of how he was in Seattle for the weekend for a trip and just never left because he met her, and how her family lived in Phoenix. So he was driving down there in this convertible in a white tuxedo, and his car broke down. And so he got a ride from a police officer to the wedding, and it looked like he was arrested. And it was this long, beautiful story. And then right when we got there, it was oh, how long have you guys been together now? And it's oh, we're divorced. And I was if this drive had been a little bit shorter, I could have just got on the plane with this beautiful love story. And it's I feel like you should have opened with this. You should have opened with the divorce. But
I was in Utah this week, and Johnny, we've talked about this on the show before, but it was totally a situation of tipping $0 or $1. So but it was worse because I had a 20. So it was a rental car. I had to get a rental car. So I went to the rental car, and there was a rental car shuttle from the airport to the rental car place. And all I had was a 20. I'm not going to tip the guy $20, but would you?
Wait, which guy?
The rental car shuttle driver.
Oh.
You tip the rental car shuttle driver?
Yeah, but not a 20. There's no way.
No way you get 20.
I would give him 20. No.
But do you take the time to ask him to break the 20 to give? Because then I'm I don't think it's even, if I'm him, I don't even want the $1 or $2 bad enough to have to go in my wallet, make change for me for $1,
If you're going to break the 20, you need a committed amount that you're willing to give. I think a minimum of 5, at least 5.
Yeah, and I don't want to give 5. I think 5's heavy for the 3-minute drive from the airport to the rental car place. 5 is heavy.
I have no problem being the confident idiot that's here you go, you give me 18 back? Because then it's on him. Hey, you want $2 or not? You know?
No, but that would make him so aggressive to go. You know what? Fuck you. I don't want to make change.
Fine. We're not hanging out
after
$2.
I just gave nothing is what I did, which I guess is worse. I don't know, but it was. I rather play. I like to pretend that I'm like some rube, from the middle of nowhere or something that's never heard of tipping the rental car driver. I go, I don't know. I just grabbed my bag.
Yeah.
Were you alone in the shuttle?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, so you couldn't even model after other people's behavior then. But
No, because there's nothing that makes me feel more superior than when a bunch of people, from Kansas or whatever, get on there and nobody's tipping, and then I, the wise coastal liberal, no, hey buddy, let me take care of you. Here's $2.
Here's what you do if you're in that situation again. You're getting out, just be like, you know what? I left it on the seat. And then just fucking run over.
Know why that would have been a bad idea? Because the shuttle driver I had back from the rental car place to the airport, same dude. Yeah, same dude. That would have been an awful idea.
That's when you say, I'll catch the next one.
Yeah, I'll get you next time. Next time I'm in Salt Lake City and use new NU rental car. Have you ever heard of NU with the umlaut over it rental car? I was like, I for sure got scammed. I was positive it didn't exist.
Huh?
And then it was a shuttle to the rental car place, and it was like the longest. It like basically wasn't even by the airport. It was such a long ride. I was like, "There's no way this place exists," but it did, and they were. It was fine.
Well, there you go.
That reminds me of like the tipping feeling of like going to a cafe, and just selfishly, if I'm going to tip, I want them to watch me put it in there. Like I want credit if I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
And I wish I wasn't like that. I wish I was just like, it's the same, it ends up the same place, but it's like, I want them to see me do it and to like, I don't even need a thank you, but just like a nod.
Of course. The COVID era is fantastic for that because no one uses cash, and these coffee shops have basically created a plexiglass, storefront, and you have to announce they have the machine behind the glass. So when you're done, you run your card and they go, would you like to leave a tip? You have to announce the tip and there's a line behind you. So I'm like extra loud. I'm like, yep, 20%. Like I want everyone to hear behind me. I want them to hear. I want the cooks. I want everyone to know. I gave them the 20%.
So that balances out the people that go, nope, my service was poor.
I know. I mean, they're definitely getting better tips now than before. When there's no anonymity, like you have to be so strong to go, would you like to leave a gratuity? Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I think that the public humiliation aspect slightly outweighs the covering half of your face and the anonymity of like, they won't know. Like if you're not going to tip, you're like, I can never wear this mask in here again.
Right. You have to have a very anonymous like medical surgery mask, not a cool one with writing on it or anything. Yeah. So, tipping. There you go. Well, hey, Bo, that was pre-show banter. Man, we ran the pre-show banter there pretty
So this is where we're going to really start the podcast now.
This is where we're going to start. We're going to start recording now. Bo, you know what the podcast
help you.
That's exactly right.
Has anyone had like a really bad take? Like so you're like, maybe the cavalry won't come down the hill today.
Well,
yes.
One time someone asked about pockets on a backpack.
Well, and again,
but that was the co-host, so he gets a pass.
That's still that stupid. I literally had the feeling again. I was like, Johnny, they haven't heard that one yet.
Okay.
I cannot figure this out. Okay.
So I've got a few, but I've got a starting off point, which is I I've become very obsessed with two websites, Fiverr and Cameo. One is like a freelancing website where you can pay people to do all kinds of things. The other is
Wait.
Cameo. Yes.
Real quick, Bo, a little trivia for the Cavalry heads out there. The first Cavalry logo was created by someone on Fiverr, and it was deemed not good enough. and we made our own.
Very replaceable.
Yeah. And that was after several edits where they probably were like, this isn't worth the $5 or whatever we paid them.
I like that at least 10% of Fiverr is like self-help. Like people were like, I'm not a therapist, but if you pay me to talk to you, I'll give you my best advice. And it's usually like pretty women, and I think it's just men that don't want to use chat rooms. But
is that true?
I did not know that.
Interesting.
There's a whole section about self-help. There's like people who will dance to a song of your choice. But these are the two sites I've gotten really into. And with Cameo, where I want my backup is, I feel like if you buy a video from a celebrity and then they get canceled a couple of months later, you should get a partial refund.
Ooh.
So I paid a full price Chris Harrison video back in April, and I feel like I'm entitled to at least $150 back now.
Well, wait, what did you pay for Chris Harrison?
I don't. $300.
$300.
Well, how long is the Cameo video?
It was like a 2-minute video.
That's so funny. Okay, it's just funny because Chris Harrison. I'll get to what you need backup on. I think I will back you up, but
I'm going to need backup before we get into it. I don't know. I need background on Chris Harris. Is this an athlete?
No. Oh, that's so funny you brought that up, Johnny. Oh my God. No, The Bachelor. You don't watch The Bachelor.
Oh, okay.
Chris Harrison is the host of both The Bachelor, or was the host of both The Bachelor and The Bachelorette.
Mm-hmm.
And Johnny and Bo, you guys would get along great because both of you are like not sports fans at all. In fact, me and Bo were working in Boise one time, and I was watching football, and I was like, Bo wanted to like go to fucking, some lake or something. And I was like, yeah, Bo, I'm going to watch football today. And it was like the 10 o'clock game was like almost over. He was like, okay, so what should we do after? I'm like, Bo, you don't understand. This goes on for like 7 more hours. I really don't.
I thought you were.
I like it how you were like, oh, you guys would hit it off so well. You both wouldn't talk about something.
Yeah, you'd have that in common where you'd both not want to talk about.
We both don't know about something.
I think the better point would be we were there when there was the Idaho Potato Bowl, which is a football game. And Andrew asked me if I wanted to go to the Potato Bowl, and I legitimately was like, I thought we were gonna go get like. It was like the baked potato food festival.
Which would have been better, by the way, than the football being played at the Idaho Potato Bowl. But no, $300 for Chris Harrison on Cameo is like, it sounds like a lot, but for how famous he is, I actually think that's pretty good deal.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to get Dr. Now from 600 Pound Life. And he was like $300. And you can't tell me that Dr. Now is more famous or as famous as Chris Harrison.
Yeah, Chris Harrison, I'd say, is like an A-list reality TV celebrity.
Oh, he's the most famous reality TV celebrity because that show.
I think I know who you're talking about. I'm going to look him up while we're talking so I can get an image.
Yeah, he's the guy who goes.
Oh, he'll be right back.
Yeah, the guy with
he gives you the final rut. He's like, hey.
Rose.
Yeah, exactly.
Unfortunately for some of you, the journey has come to an end. He's that guy.
Wasn't he on another show before the Bachelor stuff? Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, that's who I thought. Mm-hmm. Wasn't he a host of something else? Not not true Double Dare, but just some old show.
Yeah, I'm sure he was like a television host for a long time.
He was the original Fear Factor host before Joe Rogan. That's definitely not true. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Compulsively lying.
Okay, so then, of course...
our fact checkers are going nuts. I'm getting our producer, Benny, he's like, that's not true. It's not true.
So you're saying, because then Chris Harrison got canceled for defending one of the contestants on the show who had some photos from a plantation. This is very getting in the weeds here. Basically, he got canceled, and you want $150 back. Is that?
I think that's fair. Yes.
I think that is fair, because here's the thing: is Cameo should give you $150 back, but then all the people who got cameos from Chris Harrison who are racist should have to pay more now, because like, hey, not only did you get a cameo from Chris Harrison, you didn't even know he aligns with you politically, so that should be extra.
Yeah, well, he's going to have a whole nother market of folks now. I think that I was thinking about this. You could probably measure how upset people are with a celebrity in a like larger scale sense by whether or not, or if they're marginally contrite, by whether or not their price drops.
Have you looked? Has his price dropped?
I have not looked.
Oh man, we should look. Do you have
it was I can go.
Yeah, look it up, because I'd be so curious, because like, you're right. Maybe he's charging more now because he's lost his TV gig. But that is the ultimate free market test to see how popular someone is their Cameo price. Johnny, have you ever looked at Cameo? Have you ever?
I have looked at it. I looked at it because Stu from Grand Rapids, Stu McAllister.
Oh yeah. Yep,
he posted his of Andy Kindler, and I mean, Andy Kindler. I don't know. I mean, I guess if the whole America, who's more famous, Andy Kindler or Chris Harrison?
Chris Harrison.
By
miles.
I love Andy Kindler, but by 10,000 miles.
It also speaks volumes that Andy's was like 12 minutes long, and you could tell he just wanted to keep going. He was
right. Yeah, I think Andy needs to get back on stage soon, because he's probably has some things to say. But like, yeah. But who would be your cameo? Was there anybody you were interested in seeing?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, no. I mean, I don't want to.
Yeah, no, I know.
They say don't meet your heroes. I mean,
don't pay your heroes.
Don't pay your heroes for a
price.
2-minute clip.
We bought one from one of the guys from 90 Day Fiance for my brother-in-law's birthday present, and it was like $150 or something like that. But Bo, did you get an answer? Has Chris Harrison's price dropped?
It's $350.
It's gone up. He's increased his
it.
value. So what does that say to your thesis? Is so America has deemed him not canceled.
He was also on it it was a benefit when I bought it. So I don't know if it's scientifically accurate. Like, I think he went up. I think it's down from when I've seen it in between when I bought it and now. But it's still pretty high. This is still a steep Cameo price.
Yeah, I also think it has to be at the artist's discretion. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're trying to balance out, I want the most, but I also want it to be expensive. He might be like, I'm in the middle of this PR nightmare. I'm going to hold my ground by keeping my price. The number of cameos he's doing is probably dropped, but he can hold his price maybe.
And you don't want to show weakness either, because if you drop to like $25, they're like, oh Jesus, look how these guys really hit the skids.
But I would say what's strange is Cameo has almost kind of become a home for famous figures that have been like put under public scrutiny. So Michael, you could buy I think it's $100 cameo from Michael Cohen.
Oh, the Trump guy?
Yeah.
Who would want that? Other
A
than
lot of people.
like as a joke, but as a joke, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mostly as a joke.
It's all a joke. I mean, that's the thing. It's like the real celebrities are not on Cameo. I think that's the point. Like the ones with real artistic integrity and the ones that, don't need the money and all that. Like, you think Chris Harrison would be so rich? I'm surprised, but I guess it's just like sort of a thing where you want to show access to your fans or whatever.
Well, I think you'll see some musicians who have reached the tier of still incredibly successful, but probably doing like casino shows now. So like, I think Smokey Robinson is on Cameo.
Yeah.
I wonder if Adam Duritz is on Cameo.
He probably is. See, there you go, Johnny. There you go.
The thing is, the two of you lived in LA for a while. You could probably find.
Well, that's the thing. I've met him. I have met him. Like
well,
a lot of the people I would pick, I have met. You know.
Well, I would bet that there are people that you have in your phone that you could call that will answer that you could pay for like a $20 video from on Cameo.
Oh. Ooh. I'm going to go through my phone and see.
You know what's funny about Cameo? There's a lot of comics on there who are just like not even famous comedian. They're just it's just comics we know who I think we're just like, yeah, what? I'll take a shot. I'll put it up there for 20, like you said, $20-25 and
like the same reason I joined OnlyFans.
Yeah.
I just wanted to snag the name. I
didn't
want anyone else to take Johnny Comic.
I mean, I think what you do is if you guys wanted to start a Cameo, if anyone ever texts you, you can just send them the link to your Cameo and be like, if you want to talk.
Right. Yeah, Mom, if you want to keep talking like this, you're going to have to go through the site like everybody else, okay? I know you want to see your granddaughter, but yeah, you can see her when you pay your money.
I like it.
Yeah, no, I'll back you up, but I think if you get like legitimately canceled, but like Chris Harrison, it's weird. He was like half canceled because they only took him off the one show, but they haven't taken him off the other show. So I think you should get, I'm going to say you should get 25% of your money back. So $75. That's what I'm ruling. But no, I'm backing you up because you probably felt by the time, because what people like to do with Cameos is they like to like post it on their social, they get the video and they like to post it on their social media like, hey, look, Chris Harrison sent me a message, right? Like you probably felt weird about posting that.
Well, this one was very specific. I definitely have purchased some for friends or for fun. I would say this one falls in the range of, this is going to make me sound crazy, but this was my this was my stereo above the head moment, like showing up at the window. This was like during end of a relationship. I was like, I'm going to buy, this is a show we watch, I'm going to buy a Cameo from Chris Harrison, which now the sentiment has aged even more poorly.
Did it help? Wait, did it help with the girl or no?
Definitely not.
Oh, yeah. So you got screwed both ways.
Yeah. You get a full refund.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, I don't even know what he did. We didn't talk about what he did. I don't know what he did.
It's Bo, can you explain it? I kind of followed it, but it's basically there was the girl who won The Bachelor this year then had some photos come out where she went to her sorority had gone to like an old plantation, slavery plantation in the South, and did like one of those kind of Gone with the Wind sort of Southern Belle deals or something. And The Bachelor this year is black, and so it was very like problematic. And so they've been talking about that. And then Chris Harrison got on and was very dismissive of all the concerns, racial concerns to that.
He got on.
People thought he was a little tone deaf, and talked about the woke police and all this stuff. And the woke police ended up getting the last laugh.
Yeah, it was all on an interview with the first black bachelorette, Rachel Lindsay, who kind of like had him on to interview, and basically it's a very uncomfortable video to watch because it's just pretty tone deaf from him ignoring her the whole time. And so he's not hosting at least the next 2 seasons of The Bachelorette. And I think it's unclear what happens from there on out.
But it is like it's a week, it's like whatever. But as far as like signaling to people like, hey, we take racism seriously and stuff, it's like replacing Chris Harrison is not like difficult. Basically, he would show up, he'd say, hey, welcome to The Bachelor or Bachelorette. And then they were down to one last rose. He'd go, okay, everybody, this is the last rose. And that was like everything. He's like literally anyone could do that job. So it's not like some big signal that is being
I would miss out of reality shows, I feel like Jeff Probst is more of a heart of Survivor, maybe, than Chris Harrison is of The Bachelor.
Yeah, I don't watch Survivor, so I don't know. But, yeah, I'm trying to think of, like even Wheel of Fortune, like, they could get rid of, what's his name? Pat. I watch Wheel of Fortune for the puzzles, you know? I don't care about Pat Sajak and his stupid little quips, you know? I don't care about interviewing. I don't like the interviews of the contestants. I'd do away with that. Just get to more puzzles, please. That's why America watches. So, I don't know. It's not like, it's not like when like we've talked about this before, but some athlete gets accused of something, and let's say it's like the backup offensive tackle, like they cut him the next day, and they go, look, we do not tolerate this. But it's like if it's the star, like Deshaun Watson, he's the star quarterback. He's got like all these accusations now. It's like, whoa, let's wait to see. We're not going to rush to any, it's all dependent on how valuable you are to.
It'll probably take at least until the finals and probably the end of the season to really do the investigation.
Right. Yeah. Until his ligaments are torn, we're not going to jump to any sort of conclusions. So. Yeah. Again, I took it to sports with two people who just could not.
Yeah, I have no idea. You could have made up that name, to be honest. Yeah. But
sounds made
but
up.
Okay.
Sean.
It's real. It's real. I promise.
Shonigan. I like to do callbacks to previous episodes.
John and Jordan on the show.
Yeah.
Got to work on that. Okay. Well, yeah. Johnny, did you have something you needed? Do you feel backed up, Bo? I feel like we didn't back you up strong enough. I'm with you. You should get your money back from Chris Harrison.
Yeah, at least a part of it.
A portion, yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to say at least $75 worth.
I feel backed up.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Good. Johnny, do you have something you need backup this week
on? Yes. I think
the show is just soaring to new heights.
I think that we should lose the doctor title. Okay? This is my backpack topic, okay?
Well, I like that you had the balls to call out my back. Bo, you probably didn't listen to last week because it hasn't come out yet, and I don't really understand how it's possible we can be talking about it. But backpacks have too many. I'm going to talk about it every week from now on. That's it. Backpacks have too many pockets. Don't you agree, Bo? Because you get confused where something is. If there's so many pockets, you might. If you have like 50 million pockets, you have like no pockets because it's no use. You don't know which pocket your thing is.
What's the ideal amount of pockets to you? And are you defining anything with a zipper as a pocket?
Yeah. So front, back, main, side, and side.
I guess to be honest, Andrew, I don't know which more than 6 pocket backpack you're referring to. Because mine don't have more than between 2 and 5.
Yeah. Oh my God!
Well, that's a backpack. Well, that's because he's got the baby backpack.
Well,
it's got the seam ripper pocket. It's got the
whole thing, baby. The water bottle carrier.
So what you're saying is to carry. So for you, ideally, to carry your baby around, what I'm hearing is just a burlap sack.
Yeah. No, you don't even put the baby in this thing. It's for all the gear, the bottles and everything. And one sack. Just
and did you back Andrew up, Johnny?
Hobo.
Is my topic so bad that we're just resorting to the second to worst topic as a replay?
No, I'm actually intrigued. I'm intrigued by your topic, but then you attacked me again. You attacked me earlier.
Your topic, it was a fine topic. I just jumped on your insecurity. Had you just confidently been like, look, guys, we got to change backpacks, I would have been like, ooh, here we go. But you were like, all right, the well is dry. Here's what I got.
Yeah.
So, of course, I pounced.
Okay, so we're going to get rid of doctors. The title.
So the doctor title. No, but think about it. Why doctors? Yes, it's hard to become a doctor. They're very important. But, Mr. isn't good enough. It has to. Why do we have to call them doctors? And why are they the only ones? They're the only ones. What?
Oh, I'm backing you up, Johnny, because you know what else I hate is like a medical doctor will insist. They'll be like, "Oh, hey, I'm Dr. Johnson because I do heart surgery, right?" But then like there's Dr. Jill Biden who was just got her doctorate in something, I don't know what. But they're like, "Oh, she's not a real doctor. She shouldn't go by Dr. Jill Biden." And it's like, why? They both went to school for a long time. If that's why you're getting the title of doctor, then
like, eliminate all of them.
Can I propose
everyone
an
gets to
alternative?
be doctor? Oh yeah.
Maybe
so
if you're going to do a middle ground compromise on this doctor thing to accommodate the non-medical doctors, what if you're only allowed to request to be called doctor until you've paid off the debt from your schooling to become a doctor? So when you're in like $400,000 of debt to become a doctor, you could be like, give me something. You're going to call me Dr. Johnson. But once you're rolling in that cash, you just have to, I'm just Mr. Johnson again.
Oh, I think it's the other way around. I don't think.
I was thinking you were going the other way.
I think
you're saying it's like a bad thing.
Yeah. No, the bank owns the doctor title until you pay off that last loan. So you don't.
That would work for me too.
Yeah. I like that.
But then you're never going to have like whoever has like a doctorate in anthropology. They're never maybe like on they're like they will be able to be printed their last day of their life. They'll pay it off and their obituary will be doctor. But
it's
a
weird
posthumous doctor.
Yeah. It's a weird thing that like in the English language, doctor means both like just person who knows how to help you in a medical emergency and this sort of educational program, which also means PhD. Like obviously we should have two different words here.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know if I've been in a social setting yet. I think it's maybe I'm just getting like I'm turning 29 this next weekend. And so it takes a long time to become a doctor. I think I'm not in that dinner party social circle quite yet. I haven't socially had someone ask me, please call me doctor yet. Has that happened to the two of you?
No, and I would lose my mind if someone actually corrected me and made me call them doctor. That would be it forever. I don't think there's any coming back from that. Wait, Johnny, your brother is a dentist.
He's a dentist.
Does he get touchy about it?
The reason it's funny because I thought of the topic when I called him and his voicemail was like, hey, this is Dr. Luke Biener of blah, 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 because it goes to his work thing. And I was like, oh, that's right. I think it's hilarious that my brother, because he less than 2 years ago has basically broken a toilet by shitting so big. And he's a doctor, Like we should have.
Well, he's not a gastroenterologist. He's a dentist. It's not really
I know,
his
but
field.
if you went and that's true. That's true. I'm not saying that dentists are any less, but it's dental because it's a medical thing. I don't know.
No, I understand. Do you think your brother's ever corrected anyone who called him Mr. Biener to change it to doctor? Like at a hotel or something,
No, I don't. And if he did, I would smack him. Can I tell you? Yeah, can I just tell you two stories? My brother is a dentist, has his own practice. Okay, I'm not going to say his name because he's a professional. I don't want to hurt his business.
It's definitely probably the same last name.
Well, it
as
is
you
the same as mine, but I'm not going to.
No, and by the way, when you did the voicemail, I don't want to rewind the tape here, but I think you literally said his name.
I think that the dental clinic across the street is gonna dig up the audio from this and start playing.
My brother's gonna get canceled because he took a huge shit.
I don't want to have some guy putting in a crown in my mouth who broke a toilet. Good Lord. He's gonna do my daughter's braces. Okay.
Do you want his hands in your mouth? Do you know where else they've been?
He's been elbow deep in a toilet trying to.
All right.
That doesn't.
Full
wash
disclosure,
out.
he didn't break the toilet, but as 2 weeks ago from when this came out, I held up the phone saying I wanted to get him a T-shirt that says "Toilet Clogging Champion, Massive Dump Division." So, anyways, so here's the.
I was just thinking about how we've almost gone an hour and not talked about toilets or shitting. Like our last two podcasts have been very poop involved. Okay. Go ahead, Johnny. Sorry.
These are just quick stories that I just think are funny. So, trying to think. Okay, so one, I think he was working on a patient in dental school, whatever, and he farted audibly, and then just said, "Excuse me," and acted. How do you not quit and switch like? And then another one.
Or at least pretend. It could have been anything. There's gas.
Yeah,
and
just be like, oh, this
machines
damn
and-
chair.
Once you say "excuse me," oh no.
So the second one, he's working on a patient, and they farted, and just like before he could even think, it's just reflex. He goes, "Are you okay?" What? What would you do if you were in the chair? You accidentally farted, and your dentist goes, "Are you all right?"
I'd be mortified. There's no, like you said, I would never go back to that dentist. That would be the last time. I remember the first time, because like when you're a kid, anytime someone farts, you're either denying it or you're laughing hysterically, right? There's no there's no polite, like, excuse me. I remember my grandma, the first time I ever heard someone saying "excuse me" for farting, my grandma was just in the room and she was farting and she couldn't stop, and she just said "excuse me" and walked out of the room. I was like, oh my God, everyone's being so serious about this.
Great.
I just can't get over here. Like, I don't want to say his name. And like 2 seconds earlier, like his voicemail is, I'm Dr. and I live at blank blank Cherry Lane. You may be trying to call my wife. Johnny, I think that there is no need. It's the height of pretension to require.
Yes. Here's the choices. We abolish all, because I can't think of anything other than doctor except for like military, please call me sergeant or whatever, but no one says that. But we either do away with all of them or everybody gets their own.
Do we still call them doctor in the medical setting? So like in the hospital, are they doctor so-and-so, or is that gone?
They're the doctor.
No.
Yeah.
Like if you're a Dr. Bo, I'd say, hey, this is Mr. Bo Johnson or Bo. Bo's here. I'm going to go see Mr. Bo. But you could say the doctor. You are a doctor.
I'm on board with this.
I'm going to go see the doctor. Like I would go see the mechanic, but then I don't say, hello, mechanic Eric Williams.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And people introduce me like,
Comedian.
this is Mr. Beaner. Please, silly Beaner, please.
Yeah.
I'm a comedian.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. It's podcaster Andrew Slater. Thank you. I didn't go to sign up and pay a marginal monthly fee on Buzzsprout to be called Mr. It's podcaster Andrew Slater.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think
I feel backed up.
Yeah.
Good.
All right, what do you got, Andrew?
Well, okay, this one. Now, I shouldn't have talked that
No
shit
pressure.
about the backpack and because the doctor one, that was good. I don't know why we. Okay. So when you go to like sometimes like these cool guy taco stands in LA, I remember, and some just certain like really cool restaurants, they won't have like regular soda, like a soda fountain or whatever. They'll have like maybe a couple like cool root beers or something in bottles, and then they'll have the Mexican Coke. Have you ever heard of that? Like it's like no, the Mexican Coke is better because it's made from like pure cane sugar. It's not like all these chemicals. And I'm calling 100% bullshit on Mexican Coke being one, better, and two, somehow purer for you. It's still Coca-Cola. It's not like it's like, made from, it's not like it's good for you either way. You know what I mean? And so maybe it tastes a little different, but it doesn't taste any better, and it's not somehow better for you. That's my contention.
I'm going to back you up, and what jumps into my head is I think the whole thing came about, I don't know if it's new or not, but like, because you can buy, Mountain Dew with the old logo and Coke, or it's like, made with cane sugar, just like we used to. They're capitalizing on nostalgia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So people just assume it's better. Like, they don't make things like they used to, like Coke and Mountain Dew, So that's my philosophy.
And people assume that, like, because it's like they just use words like real or cane, There's still like, you know what I mean? Cane sugar. It's like when they say sea salt. Who gives a shit? Where it's salty,
Yeah.
It's no different. So yeah, I don't buy it, and I hate it. By the way, restaurants that like are too cool to just have the regular sodas and like a Diet Coke or whatever. It just drives me up a wall, because it's like, we get it. You're signaling to the community that you are cooler than the other restaurants, and you don't want a certain type of clientele, and it annoys me.
I think if they seriously thought it was better, they would have the balls to have both, and they don't, because they know
everyone would go.
Everyone would just get the regular.
Good old America, chemically Coca-Cola. That's what people like. The audience has spoken. People have weighed in. Give up. Give up, Mexico. I don't know.
You agree? What's your take, Bo?
I'm going to. I'll agree. I'll agree with Andrew up until telling Mexico to give up.
That's fair.
Those are going to be your words, Andrew.
No, whatever. I'm not backing off.
I think that I don't know if I'm the most qualified.
And also, I don't think sugar comes from Mexico. Does Mexico grow sugar? I don't think so. It doesn't. It's not. It's not.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be on your side for one reason, which is that my favorite soda when I was like a big order soda out at places, person was like the movie theater graveyard mix. That was my jam as a kid, where I wanted everything mixed together, like the kind of the word like you couldn't. Yeah.
Suicide.
Like
so you can tell me and Bo are from the Northwest, because that was a graveyard when you hit all the different soda fountain things. But you called it suicide?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Cavalry
I think that...
listeners, weigh in. What did you call it?
Yes, 5-star review. Where do you...
This is how we drive engagement. Now, this is like the perfect morning radio
we
topic.
try these cheap TikTok tricks to try to get listeners.
Yeah.
Story time.
Yeah, there you go.
We should start our episode with "Wait for it" or "When you see it." ...
When you're trying to create a podcast that's interesting, watch what happens.
I
wait till the end. That's what we'll do. Wait till the end.
Part 1 of 76.
Right.
Oh man. Yeah, I think I'm on board with you. I don't like I feel like it's just they're charging more for a glass bottle, where the only time I've liked the glass Coke has been when I've been like in Central America, and it wasn't so much that I liked the Coke, it's that I was really hot, I was really thirsty, and I wanted something cold.
And the image is cool, and it's heavy in your hand. Like, I get all that, but like pretending like it's somehow better, or tasting or better for you. I mean, people are like, oh no, it's like if you're gonna have it, it's like the real sugar. It's not like all those chemicals. It's like they don't know what's the chemical, which chemical is the one doing the, you know what I mean? They always say chemicals like in Diet Coke. They're like, oh, Diet Coke's gonna kill you, all this stuff. But which chemical is it? No one ever tells me which one on the thing. It's like, oh, it's the chemicals. Wouldn't it? Isn't it probably one of them that's doing the damage? They don't know,
Yeah. Scientists are all fake.
They're all fake.
I think that
no,
they
it's
should
not
have
even scientists. It's these fake scientists, these fake doctors, these people who just pretend they're doctors.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. Well, that's as good as I'm gonna get on that, I think. Bo, do you have any before we get out of here? Do you have a quick one? Because you're the guest, so we'll give you one more chance.
Do you want to cover a simple one? I don't have anything super pressing, but I've got some. Let's see. Do you want me to give you a pick and choose?
No, you just choose one.
Pick.
Okay.
You pick.
I think that one of
we don't want our listeners to be screaming at no, do the other one.
We don't want to have any. We don't want to have any controversy of being like, you bastards, you picked the wrong one.
Okay, so I've been buying a lot of self-help books off of Amazon, and I feel like you should be able to learn a little bit about the people that are giving positive reviews for the book. Like, I want to know.
That's great. Yeah.
Where did you end up?
You should click on their review, their profile, and it should tell you like how much money they have, if they're in a relationship, all that stuff. I like that.
How much their life was in shambles beforehand.
But do they say that in the review? Do they try to front? Do they say like, oh, after I read this, everything got better for me? Or do they just say like, I think this book is good?
It's a mix. I think I'd really need to pull up some reviews. I didn't do the full homework, but I think that some of you like, this book has helped me so much. It's changed my life. And I'm like, well, what are the results? Like, that's kind of, I felt a sense of relief. I like that therapy is over Zoom now, because I get to know what my therapist place looks like. And it's nice. Like, if it had popped up the first time and this was her background here,
right?
What I'm sitting, I'd be like, this is the source. This is the well I've been drawing from. So,
no, I like that. And it's also would be important to know because like you were looking at self-help books, but you're already like a pretty high functioning member of society, like you have a job, you have creative pursuits, you have your own place, albeit it's not decorated.
I'm house sitting.
Oh, you're house sitting. So it's not even, okay. Well, whatever. So, you're doing pretty good, but you're trying to improve. It would be good to know, like, that person who says, oh, my life is so much better now. Maybe he was just able to get his life to where you're at right now. Maybe the book only gets you from, like, really bad to doing, like, pretty good, but it can't get you from, like, pretty good to great. You know what I'm saying?
And I think that this is why I was pretty anti-self-help book for a while, is that my takeaway of most of the people who would be like, these books are, like, valuable, it was like the emotional equivalent version of if your basis for all religion was the guy you saw like in downtown, whatever city you live in, with the sign being like, the end is coming. And you'd be like, oh, that's religion. Yeah. And so I feel like people who are like, you should do self-help books are great. It's like, this is the people who are reading them.
Have you ever seen those sign guys? They're always at like you said, big events or whatever, and they'll list everything you might be going to hell for. So some of them are like you would go to hell for, like murder or adultery, but then they get a little more like porn, and then you're like,
having Stephen King books.
Yeah, Stephen King. Yeah, like Harry Potter would be one of them. Like, hey, wow, wait a minute, this is getting a little. And then like they'll say like sports. You're like, well, how is sports bad?
Do you
they
think
really put anything on there?
Do you think that now that J.K. Rowling is getting in some heat for being transphobic, those people are like, actually Harry Potter was pretty good?
Yeah,
Have they
they're
switched?
coming around on. They're coming. If she makes Harry Potter like a, because you know how she comes out after the fact and says things about the characters, like, no, actually, Dumbledore was gay the whole time, so give me credit for writing a gay character, even though I didn't write any of that in the book.
Which is such a great, like, cheap way to try to get out of trouble at some point. Like, if you wrote a book and you'd be like, well, you just didn't know this thing.
You didn't pick it up.
How dare you assume they're straight? Shame on you.
Harry Potter.
Your perspective.
Mm-hmm. I wonder what her cameo price is.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
even know what she looks like.
Oh, man. If J.K. Rowling ends up on Cameo, you know she's in trouble.
No, because she is so rich. Those books, I mean, she has got to be like one of the richest people in the world.
Yeah, she is a fascinating story to me. Like, I think there's something very funny about, like, what she was on food stamps, I think a single mother, and her story is like a great success story because it worked, but it really is just this, like, almost on the edge of destitution single mother being like, don't worry, mommy has a story about a wizard, and that's the plan. And it just happened to work out.
Yeah, like she's got some skeptical kid, like, the other moms go to work and earn money. And he's like, oh no, those suckers! I don't need work. I need to figure out chapter 7 when Harry gets the Sorcerer's Stone, and they're like, Jesus Christ, we're never meeting again. All right. Well, hey, Bo, do you have anything you want to plug or anything? Do you have like I know that shows are like slowly coming back, like outdoor shows and stuff, but and some indoor shows. But what's before we get out of here? Do you want to tell people to follow you or anything?
Nothing booked or planned yet, but you can follow me at the Bo Scout if you want to scroll through before March of this year. You'll see a bunch of stand-up clips, and if you want to just see a bunch of selfies the last year, that's a pretty good spot.
That's your Instagram?
That's my Instagram and my Twitter and my now defunct TikTok as well. Yeah.
There you go. Thanks for doing the pod, Bo. This was fun, man.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see you in person.
Yeah, thanks for having me. And Johnny, I can't wait to fly to get my first dental treatment in a year from your brother.
Yeah. Sure, I'll put you in the right direction. We can sit in the waiting room and not talk about sports together.
Yeah, you guys are going to be great pals. I can feel it. All right, thanks everybody for listening. Leave a 5-star review and what you need backup on in your life, and we'll talk about it on the show.
Yes, and seriously do. Folks, we say it every week, but seriously, just
this
do
time,
it.
come
just
on.
Do it. Yeah, do it this week. Blow our minds. Make the next episode be all listener input.
Oh, that would be so great. Okay.
All right.
I mean, you've heard our topics lately, so
Yeah.
let's refresh the world.
We need some juice. All right. Thanks for listening
that's
to The Cavalry.